Welcome to today's webinar on RPA projects. My name is Ankit Kumar. I have more than 10 years of experience. So this webinar is all about letting you know, right, what are the different types of projects that we can handle using RPA. And this is what the agenda for today's session, that is introduction to RPA. We'll know what RPA is and then top RPA projects. The common projects that are implemented by different companies. So different company will have the same business process. Like if a company is working with a larger business, they might have the similar business process that are working with different companies. So we have just picked out the top 10 RPA projects that are very common across the larger industries, and we have put it here for your understanding. So let's first go into what is RPA. So RPA stands for Robotic Process Automation. Perfect. So let's divide this into robotic, process, and automation. So three different words: robotic, process, automation. So what is a robot? So let's not talk about robotic. So let's divide this as a robot. So what is a robot? Robot, simple words, in the layman words, it is a software. So how? You install a particular software on your computer, right? So Microsoft Office is a software. You will install that on your computer and you will use its features. Right? Likewise, RP is also a software, and in that, a robot is a software. Okay, it's a software entity. It is a software entity which mimics human actions. Simple. So if you have an Excel as a software, okay, what you can do? You can do some calculations and you can store some data inside Excel. So that is what the functionality of Excel is. That is the functionality. It will store some data and it will give you some of the features to do some calculations, all those things. The same kind of software which mimics human actions. That means whatever you are doing, instead of you, if a software does, that is the robot. Mimicking human actions, whatever the human actions that you are doing, your robot will do it. And that is a software, simple in the layman words, right? Entities which mimics human action is called a robot. Okay, then what it will mimic? What this robot has to mimic? What type of work this robot has to mimic? That is the process. The next word, process. Every business, every project, if you are an employee of an industry, any industry that might be, I'm not just talking about the software industry, any industry for that matter, if you are working for a project or an individual contributor, if you are, you will be working for a particular business process. Everything that happens is a business process. And what is a business process? Business process is a sequence of steps that we do to achieve some meaningful task. That's it. Every day you go to office, you do work, right, which will somehow benefit to the organization, right? It will benefit to the organization, and that process that you do on daily basis is called as a business process. And that business process which you are doing, right, as an individual, can be done by your robot. So robot, which is a software, okay, robot which is a software which has the capability of performing the action, that is process. It will do a process, okay, and doing that process doing that process without human intervention is called automation. Simple, right? So previously that business process used to be performed by a human used to perform that particular process, business process, multiple activities here and there. Now the robot is performing that particular action, so it is called as automation without human intervention. So putting all together, robotic process automation, the software entity which we call as a robot, which has a capability of mimicking human action without human intervention, is called as robotic process automation. In simple and layman words, whatever you used to do, the repetitive boring process, when you go to office, instead of you, a software will take care of it. A software will do it by itself. That is called as robotic process automation. Right. So now let's go into the top 10 RPA projects. What kind of projects you can implement when an organization purchase RPA? Again, we are talking generic about RPA. Either it might be Automation Anywhere tool or UiPath tool. Any tool you have, what kind of projects you can implement. So we have lot many projects that are implemented, but we have just picked top 10 RPA projects that are being implemented across the industries. Right. The first one, validating orders. If you are an e-commerce company, okay, if you are an e-commerce company, so what you can do with the orders that are being placed by the customers. So let's understand this particular project with a problem statement. Okay, so you have a customer relation management portal, okay, where after placing an order, the customer information, the contact information, right? So if a customer orders something using your e-commerce website, all the customer information has to be loaded to your CRM application. E-commerce website is different, and a company, an organization will maintain its own CRM portal where all the information of the customer has to be loaded into CRM application on daily basis. So whoever customer register on their e-commerce application, right? So all those information has to get into the CRM application. On timely basis, this information has to be updated on the CRM portal. And this is completely a manual process. Okay, so somehow you will get the data, input data. Suppose you have an e-commerce application, all the applicants or all the customers that are registered to that particular e-commerce application, okay, you will get the data in the form of Excel, just for an example, assume it. Okay, you will take that Excel data as an input and you will enter all the data in your CRM applications, which is a complete repetitive and mundane process. So instead of you doing as a human, your robot can do it. So that's what the robot is saying, waving its hand and saying, hey, I can update CRM with the customer contact data and at a scheduled time every day, right? So you can schedule your automation. You can schedule your automation at a given point of time on daily basis where your automation will start automatically. You need not even trigger it. It will start automatically at a given point of time. And when you have an input data ready for your bot, so we call as a robot, right? So when you have input data ready for your robot, it will go and update all the data to your CRM application. So how? Okay, so how and all? You can know it when you learn RPA tool. So this is just as I said, the projects that are implemented. So this is one kind of project that is implemented, like entering data into CRM application. Next, web scraping. You have a data spread across the web application. This is the most common project, right? So if you have a data that is spread across the websites, so every company will have many websites, right? So many pages, many websites, okay, under their organization tree, and you as an employee has to go to different pages and scrape the data, that extract the data from different pages. Okay, again, which is a complete manual process. So the problem statement here, you can scrape the data. So here some of the examples, like stock trading websites, okay, commodities trading websites, or any e-commerce website like Amazon, Flipkart. I would like to extract the data from that particular portal. Suppose you have an Apple iPhone, right? And all the Apple iPhones that are available on Flipkart have to extract the data. Just an example. Okay. So no, don't ask me why I need to go and extract the Apple information from Flipkart. What is the use? I'm just quoting as an example, right? If you are working in an organization, if you have a portal, and you have to extract a specific data from the entire application, web application, which is again you have to go to different pages, give the search criteria. You have to wait until that complete data flashes on the screen, then select the data or copy the data into Excel, blah blah blah, right? You have to do these activities. So again, it is a time taking and mundane task, repetitive, boring task. So don't worry, okay, you have your bot which will do the data scraping, and it will load the data into database. Okay, it can scrape, it can extract the data from different websites, and it can store the data into database also. So we just talked about Excel, right? So you can store the data into Excel also, and you can store the data into databases also. Whatever the applications you have, you can do it. And this is just an example. Okay, this is just an example. So where you have a task, okay, you would like to, extract the top technologies that you have in the market right now, and which is associated with GitHub repositories. Okay, you would like to extract this information for an example. Okay, how you do it? The solution, how you implement is this. Okay, store the technologies that you want to extract the data for in an Excel sheet. Okay, list all the technologies in an Excel sheet. Okay, build a data table. So this is again a technical term that you have in RPA tools. Okay, you have to build a data table. So then read all the Excel sheet data. Okay, so this particular store technologies in the Excel, you have it here, right? So those data will be stored in this data table, and you will read all the list of technologies that you have. Then one after the other, taking individual technology, your bot will go to the website. Okay, that's what it says, open web recorder, and that generally refers to the website. It will go to the website and extract the data with respect to that single technology, and it will store in an Excel or whatever applications you have. For all the technologies that are listed in your Excel, it will go and extract the information for a given technology. Now, this is a web scraping project. Next, validating orders, right? So again, so here you can see clearly, you can understand it's kind of a pizza ordering company. So we can name it as a Domino's, right? So the dots also referring to the same Domino's. Okay, so kind of if you have a company working, if you are working with Domino's or any e-commerce websites like Amazon, Flipkart, where a lot of orders flow into your website on daily basis, right? A lot of orders that comes in your organization, and someone ordered something. Okay, you have to do shipment, right? It has to go to the customer. We have to do the shipment. Okay, like here again, okay, hundreds of online order take place every day on different mediums such as Amazon, Flipkart, Domino's, etc. So validating each order against the shipment, that is what it is. Okay, you have received order, have you shipped it? You have to do this validation on daily basis, because any order misses the shipment, what happens? You will get a bad review, right? Definitely you will get a bad review saying that, oh, my order has lately delivered, my order has been lately delivered. So these kind of things you will hear as a company, which you don't want. So for that, you will do validations on daily basis, whether the given order has been shipped or not, right? So those kind of things you will do it on daily basis, and this kind of a project can be handled by your bot. So it says, I will check and approve all the matching orders and notify the user whenever there is an exception raised. Suppose there is a problem, right? If there is a problem in shipment, so it will notify the user as well, that so your order might get delayed due to this conditions or this reasons, right? So that kind of projects will also be implemented using RPA. So this is validating orders. Next, data migration. If you have a legacy systems, right? So generally, data migrations will happen between applications, right? So if you have an older application, generally this will happen. Okay, in most of the industries, if you have a legacy system and you have purchased a brand new application to replace that legacy system, you have to do the data migration, and not all the data can be migrated. You will have terabytes of data in the legacy system, and you don't want all the data to be migrated, but some specific data to be migrated, okay, according to business need. So you have to validate the data that you have in the legacy system. Based on that validation, you have to migrate the data. So again, which is a complete manual process. It is completely a manual process. Here in this case, you can see you have around 8 rows on the top application, which is again in Excel. So from this Excel, so they are copying the data into another Excel. what they are copying based on some condition. That is, if you have the sales dollar which is more than 5 lakhs for an example. So here you have the 5 lakhs sale. Okay. So if you have a sales which is greater than 5 lakhs, then only copy the data into other application. So here they are copying from one Excel to other Excel, the same Excel. So that can also happen, but based on some condition. Migration based on some condition, right? So that can be done using RPA. How? Again, the problem statement we have just looked into. So these are the legacy systems. Okay, all the multinational companies will have it. Few legacy system and new generation applications where you have to do some data migration. Okay, and your bot says yes, I can migrate the data from various application and store it in the database. Right. So here in our problem statement, this is an example. So if at all you have two Excels, you want to migrate the data from Excel to Excel. Okay. So open both the spreadsheets, start the loop. So these are technical terms, right? So this is all about technical terms, how we implement. Okay. So open the spreadsheets, start the loop, mention the condition. So in our example, so above 5 lakhs is what we have just looked into, right? Mention the condition, mention the position of the active cell where you want to paste the data and execute the automation. So this is, so they have shown automation anywhere here. So this is with respect to automation anywhere, how you can automate, right? So this is the data migration example. This is one of the project. Okay. So what project next we have? Call center operations. Again, one of the very important project, I must say. Okay. So when you call to the customer care, okay. So if you are working with, if you are a Airtel customer or Geo customer, right? You will call to the customer care and you will tell them your problem statement. This is what I am facing. So can you rectify my problem? So when you call to the customer care, what first thing they will do? The customer care executive, he will confirm your mobile number. Sir, is this your mobile number? Can you please confirm? We'll say yes, and they will put our call on hold for some time, right? At least a minute or two, they'll put our call on hold. So that whole time, what they will do, every customer care center will have multiple applications from where they have to retrieve the customer information who has called, right? The one who called. So they have to extract information from multiple applications. And when they have the information from multiple applications, they can address to the questions that are being asked by the customer, right? So pulling out this information while on the call, right? It is again a hectic task and time-taking task your customer care executive has to do. So what if all the information from the different applications are flashed on a single screen? How efficiently customer care executive can assist to their customer, right? So that kind of work can be done by RPA project. RPA can do it. That is, okay, call center would like to have all the information about a customer on a single screen instead of looking into different application to gain access about various kind of details. That is what it is. Your RPA can fetch the data from different applications and it can flash on the screen single place so that your customer care executive can assist a customer efficiently. Okay, and your RPA is not only confined in that area, it can do suggestions to the customer also, recommendations, suggestions. So this is another topic. So your RPA can use machine learning capabilities to do all these things also. Okay, so this is an extra thing. Next, suppose you have an bunch of emails that are coming up on daily basis and you have to segregate those emails in a different folders. Yes, you can do that within an email box also by putting a rule, but this is just to let you know that your RPA can also do that. If you have thousands of emails that are coming to your email box daily and you have to segregate based on some, you know, criteria, that who is the sender and subject, based on that you can put a rule in the email box. This is just to let you know that your RPA can also do that. Okay, it can segregate the emails and put into different folders. right? How? So this is what it is. Okay, so store email IDs and folder names in an Excel and assign to a particular variable these information. Okay, from this sender you have to send to this particular folder. Okay, so you have to do that. So this information again you have to store in a Excel, start a loop and execute the automation. So this is some of the technical terms that are used and which is with respect to UiPath. So this is the technical terms which are related to UiPath. So this is how you can implement that particular project. Next, all the HR operations. So what are the different HR operations that generally take place in an organization? Candidate sourcing, employee history verification, talent acquisition, headcount reduction. All these are HR operations that generally take place in each and every organization, and your RPA can be used in that case. How? So it can process the talent acquisition process, business process, okay, hiring process. Your bot can be used in the hiring process, and it can maintain the employee's history data wherever you want. So that is one of the other project that can be implemented. And this one, the invoice processing, widely used project. Invoice processing, you have different invoices. Okay, you have multiple invoices in your company and you have to extract the individual data from those invoice. Like here you can see on the screen different invoices are coming, and you have transaction ID, student enrollment ID, date, total amount. All this information you have to extract from the PDF and you have to store that in an Excel. Okay, so you are extracting this chunk of data from the PDF, that is transaction ID, student enrollment ID, date, all this information you are storing into an Excel. So that extraction can be done using RPA, right? And this is a widely used project. So companies will have multiple PDFs and you have to extract that data and store it in an Excel. And how that is done? So this is again shown in Automation Anywhere. So these terms are related to Automation Anywhere. It is open Automation Anywhere client, create variables for desired data, choose the values to be extracted from the PDF, and mention the Excel file which needs to be stored the extracted data. Choose the cell where you want to store the data and execute the automation. So extracting a specific data from PDF and storing that in an Excel is one more project, that is invoice processing. Next, payroll automation. So you know what is a payroll, right? So payroll will have different conditions based on which the payment should happen to the employees. So all those conditions can be managed by your RPA. So it says I can ensure the payroll process meet all the rules. So payroll processing will have thousands of rules, okay, based on which your payment will be released. Have you ever experienced that you are expecting a monthly salary, okay, and you have got 5,000 extra this time all of the sudden, or 5,000 less? This will not happen, right? You will exactly get whatever you are promised for. How? So that will be taken care based on so many rules in the payroll, and that rules and payroll processes, everything can be taken care by your automation. So you can use your automation in payroll processing also. Next, customer support email. So when you are working in a customer support, right, you will get a customer team, support team will get lot many emails to which they have to reply. So first thing they have to do is they have to send an automated email, okay, or generic response to the email saying that, okay, we are looking into this, we'll respond to you as soon as possible. These kind of things, first they have to reply to the ticket that is generated, right? And this can be done by RPA. Okay, so they can respond to the tickets that are created, whatever the tickets created in the customer support. So your RPA can reply to that. And this is with respect to UiPath. So how that is built? So these are the technical terms: build a data table, read the sheet, read and send emails, remove the columns, whatever. So these are some of the conditions. Okay, based on some conditions you can build a particular project where your RPA can respond to the customer support emails also. So these are the projects that can be implemented using RPA. Thank you very much.